up in the golden age of rock and roll.
I was a music addict.
It was always about the music for me. It touches a part of me nothing else can.
It was a magical time when musicians were rock gods.
I put him on this big pedestal. I said, I was so in love with you, Robert. And he said, I was in love with you, too.
Jimmy goes, why don't you come over to my room? I'll show you something. Oh, my God. I hit the jackpot again.
And us groupie girls were their goddesses.
Groupies, they like to be involved with what the band's doing. I mean, I like them, you know.
What we gave them, they gave back to us.
We all understood each other. We were all one. Together, we put the sex in sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Huey Lewis was the biggest.
I taught him how to please a woman.
And Peter Frampton is the smallest.
Nice guy with a big...
I fought to give in this building.
He was such a good lover, he really was. You have no idea.
I wish I did.
David drops the kimono off and says, can you wash my back?
There will never be a time like it again.
Such amazing memories of parties with Led Zeppelin on the roof of the Riot House.
It was the golden age of groupies.
Hot tram, I love you so.
We were very important girls in our time.
We would laugh about the attention the media was paying to us.
I'm always trying to live up to my reputation or live it down.
Mouth like honey. My whole body became sticky liquid, and his fingers on my face pushed holes through my cheeks like they were on fire and left gaping holes where more honey gushed out. We rolled around up there for a timeless time until a familiar sound crept into our senses. Jim recognized it before I did and was making his way down the ladder as I sat up and heard the first few bars of Light My Fire. A kind roadie put his arm around me and escorted me to the wings, where I waited for Jim to collect me after the show, which, to my delight, he did.
Now, does anybody want photos here?
I'm Pamela DeBar, and I'm a rock author, rock historian, journalist, trippy hippie, flower child, and the world's most famous groupie. The word groupie comes from a British journalist coined it in an article in the mid-'60s, calling girls who were spending time with groups groupies. It didn't really mean anything in the beginning except, oh, she's with a group. She's with the group. Okay, I'm with the band. I've written 4 books. The most recent book, Let's Spend the Night Together, Confessions of Rock Muses and Super Groupies, is about all the other groupies, muses, dolls that hung out with the bands, and their incredible tales. My first concert was the Beatles, and it was at the Hollywood Bowl, and I just knew Paul was looking right at me, and that made me think, okay, I can meet these people.
One is really a much better musician, you know, a real excellent musician. You just kind of tend to fall for them. All girls do.
Those early experiences made me realize, oh, okay, they're human beings. You know, they may be moving me in this astounding way, but I can communicate with them.
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh,
I believe that they wanted me around and wanted to hang out with me and wanted me there because I understood what they were doing. And any good groupie loves the music so much, it's part of the bloodstream. We all understood each other, the musicians and the groupie girls. We were the sex in the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I was on stage with the Rolling Stones, 1969. That feeling is just unbelievable.
all right with me.
Every Everybody out there in the audience, men and women, wanted to get their hands on him, and I was going to do it. I knew I wasn't going to land Mick Jagger. I wasn't going to walk down the aisle with him, but I was sure going to have some fun with him.
I like English men. I don't know why, I just do. They've got a lot more charm.
I remember once sitting on Jimmy Page's amplifier at the Forum and just merging with it all and actually getting a taste of what it was like. And then I got to go on the road with Zeppelin, and I was Jimmy's girlfriend. We'd walk through airports holding hands. They took me to see Elvis in Vegas. I sat between Jimmy and Robert watching Elvis, being with Keith Moon and The Who on stage for Tommy. On stage, this far from Keith's drum kit. It's an indescribable experience to be a part of something that huge and know how big it was. 2 weeks full of one never-ending moment with Jimmy Page.
And the grand finale last night. A million fireworks going off all at once in my soul. I was floating on top of peppermint clouds, his lips turning into another amazing fruit after every kiss. My entire self was opened up, and everything sweet was entering my pores. All Jimmy, every piece of him, every piece of me interlocking with raspberries, oranges, pistachio, ice cream. Every orgasm, about 20 in 20 minutes, had a different flavor. Wow. It was the ultimate experience as a music-loving muse groupie girl. It was the pinnacle to be with Led Zeppelin.
I am actually setting out to reclaim the word groupie. It's become a tawdry, naughty word. It's been stretched all over the place, and I just want to take it back. I want to show how these girls were an integral part of this scene and share their incredible stories, because people want to know what it was like to live with Mick Jagger, to tour with Led Zeppelin. These are the people that everyone wants to know about still, much more than any of the bands today.
I'm so thrilled to be able to go out on the road and meet all the world's most famous groupie girls and introduce people to these amazing women. So I'm going across the country, but the first thing I have to do before I leave is I'm going to settle a little score with Lori Lightning Maddox. She was a little nymphette teenager who was kind of notorious on the Sunset Strip at the time. I was seeing Jimmy Page that night, and I thought I was leaving with him. I thought I was getting in the limo and going off with him to the Hyatt House, but instead, he trotted out of the whiskey with Lori Lightning and left me standing in front of the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Wow.
Boy, talk about nostalgia, huh?
Oh, don't ask why.
I remember dancing with you right here.
Yeah.
I remember like walking out with my hair shaking.
I tell you we must die.
The upstairs, there was a booth up there. The lighting room was there, and it was like a private booth.
Where you did naughty things?
Not really. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not drugs.
Yeah. Gosh, I remember right in here, I used to bring a couple different boys up here to show my appreciation.
A lot of really great times here, I have to say.
When you see these old shots, does it make you feel any certain way when you see these things?
Oh, God, yeah. Makes me feel like I want my youth back.
Well, here's me, here's you, and here's Jimmy. That was the night with Rodney Bingenheimer, of course.
That's the first image I had of Jimmy, and he actually came up to me at the Polari and said, "I'm going to be with you."
Uh-huh. I will never forget. It's a flashback photograph for me, because Jimmy said, "Wait outside in the front and I'll get the limo." And I was standing out there very innocently. And he walked out with you and got in the limo and left me standing here, egg on face. Groupie egg on face.
That's the night.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
look at the look on his face. That
And then we all ended up going out, and everybody went to Rodney's.
Yeah,
and
it was very short.
They had that booth, and that picture of that night was taken in the booth at Rodney's. That's the night he kidnapped me.
Yeah.
And I realized how he was serious. He wasn't kidding that he was going to be with me, whether I liked it or not. Next thing you know, I was taken in this limousine by myself to the Hyatt House. And I get pulled into this room, and there's Jimmy sitting in the chair with a hat and cane saying, I told you I was going to be with you.
Wow, it's so dramatic.
That was it. Kidnapped into glory.
Yeah.
Glory, yay!
From that night on, you spent a lot of time with him.
Oh, God. We fell madly in love, and it was really beautiful because it was so innocent. There was a very magical innocence to him that I think I know you know. It was really one of the most beautiful times in my life.
But at that tender age, I guess you had nothing to compare it to, though.
I know.
But, you know, I mean, because you were in such an amazing situation that everyone envied, you know?
I put him on this big pedestal.
Yeah.
That's why when he broke my heart, it was so painful. We were so young and so into the music. And it was
so into the music, loved what they did, just wanted to experience
and maybe that was it. Maybe that was what they loved about us.
Yes,
because we were into that and we appreciated that creative side of them.
That was part of being a muse.
Yeah.
It was sort of give and take, you know. It was like a magical exchange.
Yeah.
Because we understood what they were doing and just needed it.
Yeah, and you know, and what we gave them, they gave back to us.
Exactly.
So, I mean, bravo.
Even before Jimmy, how did you encounter David Bowie?
Oh, God. I get this phone call that David Bowie wants to take me to dinner. And I was terrified. You know, I was still a virgin. I was like the only one of all those girls that, you know, I was Miss Innocence. Anyways, after we had dinner, we went back to the Beverly Hilton, and I'll never forget it because he was in this huge suite, and all of a sudden, David opens the door, and he's wearing this gorgeous, beautiful kimono with that pale skin and that hair. He goes, Laurie, could you please come with me? And he takes me into the bathroom. He's got a bath drawn, and he drops the kimono off and gets into the bathtub and says, can you wash my back?
People just dream of stuff like this
happening. It was just so
actually happened to you.
He was very gentle with me, knowing that it was my first time. And then he just started to massage me and put me in the bath and relax me. And then he kind of took me out, put a robe on me, and laid me on the bed. And just the rest is history. And then that night we were all taken to the Long Beach Arena, and I'll never forget it. It's like a little spotlight came down on us there, and that's the night Bowie became a star.
Back then, the Strip, I mean, in my time, before you started hanging out here, this was just chock-a-block with teenagers. We thought we were going to rule the world.
Oh, yeah. And of course, for me, the centerpiece of the Strip was the Hyatt House. If the walls could talk in that hotel.
I haven't been here in decades.
I know. Doesn't it feel strange?
Look at this view up here.
Oh, I know. And this is where everybody came.
Yeah.
And it was really the hub of rock and roll in the 70s.
It was. Totally.
Everybody stayed here.
It's such an incredible spot. It was so close to all the clubs.
I mean, can you imagine being with Led Zeppelin up here? Everybody went in the pool.
With your clothes on or off, darling?
With everybody with clothes on. Robert went in.
Who threw you in?
Went in. I think Robert, Bonzo or somebody threw me.
In the end, I realized that Laurie wasn't so bad after all. I mean, we were all out for that ultimate rock and roll experience. Who could deny it?
Hot tramp, I love you so. Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell.
I taught him how to please a woman. I know I taught him how to please me.
This is where I was raised. How I fought to give in this building, but somehow I succeeded.
Get on your bikes, ride!
I am so excited to finally be going on this cross-country trip to meet the most incredibly fascinating groupie girls. My first stop's in Cedar City, Utah, home of the legendary Tura Satana, who literally paved the way for the rest of us way back in the 50s. Tura,
along with all the other girls we're going to meet, devoted themselves to the love of rock and roll. Ooh. These girls wanted to be with the bands that made their hearts and souls and their entire bodies feel that good. You know, before the term groupie existed, there were women, of course, doing the same things the groupies did. And I met this amazing lady, Tura Satana. She's a feminist heroine, and she slept with Elvis.
All right, here's how it works. Everybody's got to go.
You name it, we've got it. Slashing, tackling, gouging, hacking, flipping, belting, smashing, and blasting. For an incredible evening's entertainment, see Russ Meyer's Faster Pussycat. Kill, kill.
What do you think inspired these people to be so devoted to you and that character especially?
It was important for the women to be strong enough to lead their own lives and yet sexy enough to still entice the guys to come.
You sure did that. You sure did that. Gosh, look at these.
Yeah, here's some of the pictures.
Miss Japan Beautiful.
Yeah, I was the first Japanese exotic dancer. Mm-hmm. When I got into films, it was very unusual for Japanese women to be built like I was.
Right, right.
So I was a novelty there, too. This one was when I met Elvis. Yeah, Elvis saw this and he said,
How'd you meet Elvis?
I was walking along the beach in Biloxi, Mississippi. It was after my show. And I see this guy walking towards me. And he says, you know, you shouldn't be walking by yourself on the beach. And I said, well, I'm not alone anymore. I saw those gorgeous blue eyes and I just fell in love.
How old was he?
20, early 20s.
Early 20s,
yeah,
right.
Because I was only 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a totally different world of entertainment than he was.
Right.
He would always ask me how I did a certain move. And I said, well, my father taught me how to do Aikido, and a lot of the moves I do are part of the Aikido dance routine. And he says, God, I got to learn that. But he wanted to learn how to do the shimmy first. Mm-hmm. So I taught him how to do the shimmy. It's certain positions that you hit, you know. Uh-huh. It's like, here, penny, nickel, dime, quarter.
Great. I want to learn that.
So left, there you go, left. Penny, nickel, dime, quarter. There you go.
There was one other thing you taught him, though, that I'm sure made the girls even happier.
Well, yes, I taught him how to please a woman in many ways. I know I taught him how to please me. And he got no complaints after me. So.
I know you taught him other things.
Yes, I taught him how to kiss.
Now, how did he kiss originally that you felt he needed direction?
Like a fish.
Yeah.
Very wet. I mean, if he'd have kept doing it, he would have slipped right off my face.
So tell me about the night he proposed.
Okay. We were sitting in Grants Park in Chicago, and he got down on one knee. He said, would you please marry me? I said, well, I'll think about it. And then he gave me this ring.
Gosh. Just exquisite, huh? Were you surprised?
I almost fell off of the bench where I was sitting, and you know, I said, do you know what will happen if you marry me? He said, I'll be the happiest man in the world. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, but I can't. I mean, I knew that if he and I ever got married, it would just destroy whatever he had, because I was an exotic dancer. Back then, exotic dancers were considered big no-nos.
But you continued to see him.
We went together for a couple of years, but I mean, we kept it secret. You know, I mean, he was very careful and very conscientious about women. He loved women. He thought women were very essential to his way of life, for one. And he was one of the loneliest men I've ever met. Yeah, I mean, with all the people that were around him, he was extremely lonely.
Well, since my head baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. I'll make you so lonely, baby.
But he said there's always something missing. And I said, well, did you ever feel it with anybody? And he said, yeah. He says, with you.
Tura is without a doubt a pioneer for all of us dolls. Letting Elvis go was the ultimate groupie sacrifice. Her loss was no doubt rock and roll's gain.
Was he a good kisser?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my God. It was one of those moments that it was like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. Can I just hold Jimmy?
Please do. Note the fingers don't touch.
It's not surprising. Well, dolls, I'm back on the road again. This time to an undisclosed location because the groupie gal we're about to meet is quite the pop icon herself, and she's got some pretty freaky fans, so I think we need to keep her location under wraps.
Hello, darling. Yes, sirree, it's Lilo me, that gal with a shape that drives men ape. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Long before Cassandra Peterson became Elvira, she was quite a notorious little groupie girl, but she kept her virginity, much to the dismay of many, many rockers. People are going to be surprised to find out that Elvira was a groupie at one time.
Yes, my career before Elvira.
Yes, that's right.
I remember the first really kind of heavy time that it got sort of out of control, and I was still really young. My girlfriend Kathy and I talked my aunt into taking us to the hotel that we found out the Yardbirds were staying in. And how did we find their room? We walked every single floor and listened at every single door. And then we get to a door and there's music playing in it. And then we go, oh my God, this is it, this is gonna be them. So we knock on the door and they're like, oh, hi, come in. It's Keith Relf, Jimmy Page, Jim McCarty, the drummer. We were like just hanging around, having fun. And then Jimmy Page, who was very, very quiet the whole time. He was like not talking. He was just kind of sitting there looking kind of broody, you know.
Looking beautiful and broody.
Yeah, I know. God. He goes, why don't you come over to my room? I'll show you something.
Come see my etching.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. So I go along with him and we go down. And of course the door shuts and he's like, boom, all over me. And I had never seen a penis before, and I don't know if it was just, I thought it looked like a weird snake or worm or something.
The very first penis you saw was Jimmy Page's penis.
But you know, I didn't want to do anything with it. I was like, you know, and he was just like kind of all over me and chasing me around the room. And I remember just finally running for the door, throwing the door open and running out of the hall. I had no shirt on.
It's pretty fabulous.
It was bad.
That's how enticing you were, though. So imagine that.
Well, you know, I had the big bazoomies.
Yeah. You remained a virgin.
I was a virgin, but you know, I desperately wanted to be with these guys, but they would only get up to so far, and I'd be like, I can't.
But you got close.
Oh, my daughter's in the other room. I think my best time of all was probably going to Denver Pop Festival, where there was everybody. I mean, this was like practically Woodstock.
It was paradise for you.
Oh, my God. And I'm walking around the arena, and there's this little trailer parked, and there's this really big African-American guy kind of standing in front of the door, you know, and he goes, hey, want to meet Jimi Hendrix? I go, yeah. And he goes, so I go in, and there he is, sitting, you know, in the back. It had, you know, like a bed, you know, in the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, and I was just like, holy crap, you know. Oh my God, I hit the jackpot again. And then he said, here, do you want to smoke a joint? I go, okay. And then we were laying on bed, rolling around, and making.
You made out with him.
Oh yeah, like
that's just so incredible.
It was incredible.
Was he a good kisser?
Oh yeah, I mean, my God. And I guess things could have gotten out of control there too, except all of a sudden, Jimmy, you're on, like bang, bang, bang on the door. And he goes, oh man, I gotta go.
But you had your moment with Jimmy.
I did, That's one of my favorite stories of all time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I told you how much I was into Elvis.
Yes.
And I had seen all of Elvis's movies.
Right.
Well, I saw his movie, Viva Las Vegas.
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising.
1 year from when I saw Viva Las Vegas, I was in Vegas. I was a showgirl. I went out with Elvis.
Girl, 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 you gonna set me on fire.
One night, the stage manager comes back and says, ladies, we have a very special guest coming to the show tonight. We're clearing out the entire theater, and Elvis Presley is coming with his entourage.
And you light my morning sky, burning love.
So we go to the party after our show, and Elvis sort of just started talking to me. Oh, I saw your show. You were really great. He just sort of honed in on me, and we played the piano together. He played. We sang together. We sang harmony. We sat on the couch. We kissed and
you made out with him, or just kissy face?
Kissing. At the end, we did kind of make out.
He actually wrote notes for you because he wanted you to remember some things, right? What are they? What are they?
It's really nutty, and it's the first time I ever heard anything like this. Whoop. Okay, reach your finger and you barely touch it. Okay, that's enough. I'm just kidding you. But it's an envelope from the city of Memphis, addressed to his dad, Vernon Presley. Started writing all these things about spirituality.
What was he telling you? Do you remember any of it?
It was like how certain words had a much deeper meaning than the real word. Like history was his story.
Right.
About God, I guess, and like bright was be and right. And
I love it. Om is
amen.
I mean, Elvis obviously, was some sort of angel to you.
He was. He changed the direction of my life. Elvis is the person who told me when we were playing the piano together, and he said, let me tell you one piece of advice. You don't want to stay in Vegas. You want to get the hell out, the sooner the better. Okay. I mean, it was coming from Elvis, so I was the youngest showgirl in Vegas. If not for Elvis, I would now be the oldest showgirl in Vegas. It's honestly true.
Oh, man. A surprising new direction for Cassandra, thanks to some true rock god wisdom. People always think that musicians are taking advantage of the groupies. But in this case, the king gave Cassandra the best advice she ever got in her life. She's like the Michelangelo of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That was one of the best nights of my life because I got to Noel, and I got to take home the world's best groupie souvenir.
It's just very admirable work that you do.
Please put phallic symbols around their children's necks, much more evolved than us, to protect them from evil spirits.
I'm in Chicago. It's very cold. I'm here to see my dear old friend Cynthia Plastercaster. She's the most notorious groupie of all of them because of her art form. She's like the Michelangelo of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. She and her partner in crime, Diane, took the word groupie to such a new level that the band Kiss wrote a song about them called Plastercaster.
What a vision.
Yes, she's the collector. I'm talking of my love for a collection.
In art class, we started doing plaster casting. One day the teacher said you could plaster cast almost anything that's solid. In fact, bring in any old object from home, and tomorrow we'll make a cast of it. And I thought,
Do you have any wonderful acquisitions you'd like to show me? I always love to see your new, penis-shaped items when I arrive.
Watch what you say in this apartment. Do you want me to turn on the lights?
They're amazing.
Let's hope they still work. Oh, okay.
A
pot pipe, right? Is that a bong?
It's a bong, a dong bong.
A dong bong.
Yeah, here's another one that somebody gave me.
That's really a big one. The phallus is, in Hawaii, some sort of magic something, right?
Well, like a magic sword?
You've recently started casting boobs, which is so great.
And the bottom beneath the poodle is Karen O, the yes. I see dust on there.
She's getting goosebumps.
You've never seen any of her casts? No. They're so lifelike. They're so realistic. Every single line, every vein and everything, I can't believe it.
This is holy ground. This is Nirvana. Show and tell.
Okay, that left to right, this is Jello Biafra, the Dead Kennedys.
Wow, cool.
Next in line, Anthony Newley. Nice guy with a big my token show tune immortalization, that uncircumcised guy.
It's just very admirable work that you do.
Had a few mishaps with Peter Tork of the Monkees. He didn't get a chance to penetrate the mold soon enough. It solidified before he could push it all the way in.
You could tell it's a partial.
Yeah, there's no balls there.
I think Jimi Hendrix is the best one she has. I've never seen him. The biggest, yeah.
The best.
Always, you know, what I love to do when I come over here is get my hands on Jimmy. Can I just hold him while we talk? Okay.
Please do. Note the fingers don't touch.
Yeah, which is really a wonderful thing to know about the man. You know, it's not surprising, but...
Jimi Hendrix is coming to town, and I really have this major crush on Noel Redding. In between two shows at the Civic Opera House, we followed their limo to their hotel, and we go, "We are the Plastercasters." And Jimmy says, "Oh yeah, I heard about you from somebody in the cosmos. I should come on up and let's do it." And he was, real laid back, relaxed, very quiet in the mold, because I didn't know well enough to lubricate Jimmy's pubes at the time, because it was one of my first ever casts. His pubes got stuck in the mold while his penis was inside it, and I'm saying, "I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to pull out one at a time. I hope you don't mind. It might take a little while." And no problem. We went to a party afterward, and I was getting to know Noel better.
Yeah.
And Noel was the one I really wanted.
Yeah. And this is Noel Redding, of course, but he sort of went soft in the mold here, right?
Right. He was starting to soften.
Right.
See how he still has some length.
Yes.
But the pressure of the mold was pushing it down like that. And that's happened like a couple of times.
What was his attitude?
He was a real good sport.
Yeah.
That was one of the best nights of my life because I got to Noel, and I got to take home the world's best groupie souvenir.
Totally. So I see some pictures peeking out there, and I want to reminisce with you. This is the famous shot of the Plastercasters that was in Rolling Stone, the groupie issue.
Right.
That's when they realized how important groupies were. That was so cool that we had our own issue. And how did you feel being in Rolling Stone at that time?
And we would laugh about the attention the media was paying to us. We thought it was funny, but we also were getting off on it.
Look how sweet you were. And this brought you so much notoriety being in Rolling Stone, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You were shy.
Oh, yeah.
But you knew you wanted to get laid.
Yeah.
And this was the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would get comfortable once I was having a good laugh, which was why I wanted a plaster cast. It was like an equalizer, bringing them down to my level and me closer up to theirs.
The word groupie at first was sort of just like a word. And as we became more notorious and well-known, people just got jealous because we were getting backstage and they weren't. That's how I think of it, how it became negative.
Right, that's one of the reasons. And some band members didn't like the fact that girls were willing to have sex with other band members besides themselves. They were insecure about their pecking order.
Their pecker order.
I knew that I was a good person, and I was doing it out of the love for their music.
No, that's what a real groupie is the music lover, period.
One of my definitions is it's a male or a female, I'd like to think any age, that goes further than half a mile to meet a band.
Anybody who says yes to this is just my hero. It's a rare honor. Is there anybody now that you're interested in casting?
Yeah, at the moment I'd like to do a local boy. His name is Ezra Furman. His star is really rising. He's really hot.
The world is alive.
I'm going to be popping the question to Ezra. I'll probably even be more awkward than him and nervous because I always am. He's only 23.
Okay. Well, I hope he knows who I am because I want to be able to help you.
They're all sailors on the ocean, little kids with crazy notions, and their heads are gonna spin like a tornado. Woo!
Yeah, that was a really inspired set tonight, Doll.
Yes, it was.
And they just keep getting more and more. I have to tell you something. When I really like a band, it provokes me to when I plaster cast somebody's penis in the band, and it's my way of telling you that I love your music, and that I think you're a very talented guy.
Well, it's nice of you to ask, but I have reservations about it. I feel that my mother would kill you.
Oh, really?
I've got to intervene here. If you think of it as art, it's a beautiful art form. And you would be immortalized in history.
I'm still thinking about it.
Only if you're comfortable, and you would have a copy too.
Yeah, that's what's so fantastic. Well, how about showing that to your grandkids, huh?
But not your mom.
So ponder, right? Let them ponder for 24 hours.
I'm pondering
So we'll
with
have
a positive slant.
So we'll have a handshake on the ponder, just the pondering.
Oh my God, he's just everything I want in a cast need.
To think that a mother would get in the way of rock star immortalization is truly a sign of the times. Sadly for Cynthia, this new generation is just not as daring as they used to be. But it is comforting to know, after all these years, her enthusiasm for the music and the men who make it hasn't softened a bit.
Steven Tyler was such a good lover, he really was. You have no idea.
I wish I did.
The last drummer that I took care of was Shannon in Godsmack. He's young enough to be my grandson, I think, but he wanted me to boy.
Every time I visit Michelle Overman in Portland, it's like this. It's always damp and wet and rainy. I always like that because I don't get much of it in LA, and it's kind of sexy and dreamy, kind of like Michelle. Michelle had a long-term relationship with a few different musicians, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and Robert Plant. She has this quality that guys love. You'll see. Here we are, Michelle's place. Michelle!
Oh, look at you! You look beautiful! Hi, I'm gonna cry. He'll shut up. Once everybody is settled down, he'll shut up.
What turned you into a groupie? The music, obviously, but what is it about it?
Even to this day, it's hard to describe the feeling that I get when I listen to music. It touches a part of me nothing else can. In a way, nothing else can.
So there's some pictures of Steven in there. Yeah, that's a great one. How did you meet him? Aerosmith didn't exist yet, right?
Nope. We went to the same high school. He was 18, I was 16 when we met. But he was in a band, and he was really, really cute. And
really sexy.
You have no idea.
I wish I did.
His dad was a musician, always on the road. So he had this big house in Yonkers. He had the attic room, and it was basically a mattress on the floor, and he had these huge speakers, one on each side of the pillow. So you'd be like laying in bed, making love to this gorgeous guy with all this music kind of washing over you. It was really, really nice. I'll never forget it. He had so much energy, and he was such a wild man, and he was always on, that it got to be a bit too much. And he had this big mouth. When I would get high on pot, I would look at him, and his mouth would be this huge thing.
So you left Steven, and you kind of broke his heart, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. I think he was kind of mad that I had left him, but I was too young, and there were too many people hanging around in his house, and there was too many drugs.
But you saw him again fairly recently, right?
I was listening to the radio, and they said, oh, Aerosmith's playing at the Rose Garden tonight. I thought, oh my God, I had no idea. So I get home, and I call the backstage. I get the backstage number. I call the backstage, leave him a message. He calls me back, and he says to come down right away. So I went down, and I brought my girlfriend with me. I think he kind of expected me to show up alone.
You can't go back again, darling.
You can. And yeah, I know. I mean, what am I going to do, boink Steven Tyler for one night? Well, Yeah, this store is great.
Nice legs, ladies.
What did he say?
He said nice legs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. A couple of old bags.
60 years old.
Michelle and I found a lifelong friendship that started way back on tour with Led Zeppelin. I was the brand new love apple of Jimmy's eye. Michelle was nurturing a new romance with a very young, but very married Robert Plant.
When I see pictures of Robert back then, it still makes my heart race. He was too beautiful. I was so in love with this guy, but I'm not anymore.
Led Zeppelin too.
But I am very much, how do you say this? I still can feel that emotion. I can like be that person again.
I can too. This is the one, Led Zeppelin 2, that Jimmy brought over to my house, and the order hadn't been set yet. And he brought the test pressing over and played it for me and asked which ones I...
And you had no idea you were witnessing history. No. Absolutely not.
Well, I kind of did.
This is how I looked when I was with Robert. This was taken in L.A.
How old were you there?
I was 19.
You know, people say, how did you meet these guys? Just hold up a photograph of yourself. Wow.
This is what I looked
This is how I met them.
Yeah. We didn't have to chase them. They they saw us, they liked us, and they tracked us down. It was that simple.
Yeah.
It was in New York that I met him when they first came.
Right,
Very first tour. He came over and he started talking to me, and he just completely charmed me. I mean, he was so good looking and so nice. And that's when he said, why don't you come up and see my etchings? And I said, I can't believe this guy just said that. And it was funny, it was a day after my 18th birthday. I just had turned 18 the day before, and that's the first night we were together. And I saw him on stage, and I thought, oh my God. But anyway, there's a picture of him. Look at how young they were, jeez. Babies.
I know. People tend to forget that they were, I mean, Robert was 19 when he joined Led Zeppelin. To be on stage with them in 1969 with 20,000 people, you get to feel what they felt. I mean,
explain to
you can't. No,
what
it's
like.
impossible to describe.
Sometimes it's hard for me to look at these pictures because, you know, I was too in love. You're not supposed to love somebody that much.
And it was just, when you're really young like that.
You do. You give your whole heart. God, he was such a skunk in some ways. I mean, the guy was married.
He was young married, though. Remember how young he got married?
When I met him, his daughter was like 2 months old. But it's funny how you can compartmentalize that kind of stuff.
Well, you don't have as much life experience that you probably should not get involved with a married guy. It's just going to lead to heartache, which it did.
Total heartache, yeah, total heartache. Yeah. But Jimmy told me, right after Robert and I kind of split up, I saw him in London and he said, I really think you should stay with Robert. I think you're a really good influence on him.
Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair.
And then he told me that song, Going to California, he said it wasn't written for you, but you were one of the influences. You represented that whole era, that dream world, that whole California thing.
Decades later, during a Robert Plant concert in Portland, Michelle got the ultimate rock and roll validation.
Oh, look. He was very, very sweet that night. He was very sweet.
Isn't that beautiful? Rock god and groupie goddess.
But then he said, I never should have left you. I should have stayed. I should have gone back to California. I should have stayed. Out of nowhere, he said this. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, all these years later. And then afterwards, we saw the show, and he was singing that song.
Going to California?
And we were sitting in the first row. He was looking right at me.
Made up my mind, make a new start. Going to California with an aching in my heart.
And afterwards, I said, I was so in love with you, Robert. And he said, I was in love with you, too.
All these decades, you know.
It's nice to have that connection and know that you matter to somebody that, let's face it, could have had anybody on earth.
It's so wonderful that Robert acknowledged Michelle in that way after all those years. Robert recognized what an important muse Michelle was for him.
Huey Lewis was the biggest, and Peter Frampton is the smallest.
Everyone wants to know if Mick Jagger's a great lover.
It was hot.
Well, I find if I don't have a glass of wine, I'm real nervous because I'm either always trying to live up to my reputation or live it down. They've heard I've done some pretty incredible things, and I have, but not quite as not usually quite as incredible as they've heard.
It's been quite an amazing journey meeting all these incredible girls and hearing all their outrageous tales. But there's still someone we gotta go meet, and she is a legend. Sweet, sweet Connie from Little Rock. Connie is just so proud of all of her conquests, but she's equally proud of the guitar tech and the roadie as much as Eddie Van Halen. Sweet, sweet Connie doing her act. She had the whole show, and that's a natural fact.
Sweet, sweet Connie doing her act. She had the whole show, and that's a natural fact.
It was 1973 when that song We're an American Band came out, and it was the summer I'd graduated from high school, and it came out in June. Anyway, the disc jockey goes, folks, we just got a new record in here by Grand Funk Railroad, and y'all are not gonna believe the lyrics to this song, because y'all know that dark-headed girl that we always see backstage at the concerts? Well, listen to the first lyrics of this song. Da-da-da-da-da, on the road for 40 days, last night in Little Rock, up in a haze, sweet, sweet Connie was doing her act, she had the whole show, and that's a natural fact.
I think you parlayed it into quite an interesting life.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about the obviously you feel fine about it, about them saying you did the whole show?
Well, I did quite a few of them. The only one in that band I didn't do was Mark Farner. He became a Christian.
I can't remember all the different people you've been with.
Okay, Cheap Trick, I've been with Rick Nielsen, and I've been with Bunny, their drummer, and then over here in Hart, if I dusted and cleaned as much as I gave I'd be doing really, the house would be a lot nicer. Howard Leese and Denny Carmassi and Mark Andes. And over here what Mark wrote, it says, to Connie, my friend for years.
Aw.
You're beautiful, love, Mark Andes.
Oh, that's so nice. You were with Willie?
A long,
my
long
gosh,
time
now that's
ago.
but that's quite a notch.
Yeah, because to be with Willie, to having been with Willie, and to having been with Waylon, and also with Merle Haggard.
Oh my God, you were with all three of these gods
at different times.
But that's
at different
amazing.
Times. Oh,
They're my heroes.
Oh, here's somebody you'll recognize. I was with Gene and Paul at different times. A promoter flew me to Oklahoma City to see them. And I was with Paul first. And then Paul said, I want you to be with our drummer, Peter Criss. And then after I went to Peter's room, for the next few times they came around, I would always be with Peter. Isn't too bad for an old groupie.
How about Fleetwood Mac?
Every single one of these guys. Mick, John, and Lindsay. Lindsay, I just...
Right.
And John, I just... Lindsay at Village Recorder when they were working on Tusk, because they flew me out there for that.
Wow. How about that, Connie?
John, I him in a dressing room in Baton Rouge. Mick, though, I fooled around with.
Which means you went all the way with.
Yeah, as best as he could do. He was a little... He had a little chemical dependency problem.
There isn't a rocker out there who hasn't heard of the legend of Sweet Connie. Even after all these years, her services are still in high demand.
The last drummer that I took care of that I was Shannon in Godsmack. You ever heard of Godsmack?
Of course I have.
He's young enough to be my grandson, I think, but he wanted me to him, and there are his sticks.
Tell me about your long-term relationship with Eddie Van Halen.
Well, that whole band, it just goes back so far, because I met them first in '79.
God.
Way back there.
Yeah.
And then they came again in '80, and it just evolved. And they kept coming every year, and every year they always made me feel very, very welcome. Very nice guys.
When did you start hooking up with Eddie?
Well, that only happened the one time. Suite 301 at the Ritz-Carlton in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I deeply care about his brother. His brother is a fantastic lover.
Alex?
Yes. Let me use one of his drumsticks to point to his picture. Very well endowed, if you know what I mean.
See, that's one question when people ask me that one. I won't answer who's the biggest or who's the smallest.
Huey Lewis was the biggest. And Peter Frampton is the smallest. Now, he really doesn't like me, but that's okay. He's okay.
I'd like to see some of the places.
You're going to take a left. Okay, we're going to Barton Coliseum.
Oh, that's where it started? How exciting.
Yeah, Barton Coliseum. Yeah. And I would see beautiful women like yourself back there walking around. Man, I want to be one of them. My mother used to let me out at that gate.
Amazing.
She'd drop me off here so early in the day. The only thing there was to do was people to get a backstage pass and to hang with the bands. There we go.
Oh, here it is.
Wow. There we go. Is that not the most beautiful sight you've ever seen? I'm going to get up there on top of those steps.
Okay.
This is where I was raised. This is my home away from home. This place made me who I am. I never had to come through this door. I always went in that backstage door. I didn't have to come through this door. Every memory here is precious. How I fought to give in this building. I fought to give in this building. And I fought just to come and try to give in this building. But somehow I succeeded.
I don't think Connie's success is really measured by the grand number of rock stars she's serviced for the last 40 years. I think her triumph lies in her absolute devotion to the music and the incredible rock and roll lifestyle. Like her or not, Connie Hamsey's here to stay, and that's a natural fact.
I could hear somebody come in the room, and they just picked me up and he pushed me against the wall and started kissing me. And then he slid me down the wall as we were kissing. He said, "I love you."
Rolling Stones always been a lot of publicity about this business of groupies.
Well, it's not only the Rolling Stones, I mean, it's every band. I mean, groupies means girls that attach themselves to groups. That's been going on for longer than you and I have been alive. I mean, I like them, you know. One of the great things about groupies is that they make you write good songs.
Well, I'm back in LA, and it really does feel good to be home. I have one last groupie girl to meet with, Miss Catherine James, the most beautiful of all the groupies. Not only was she incredibly beautiful and charming, but she had a little toddler son. It was just an adorable little cherub, and they went everywhere together, and they charmed the pants off of everybody, from Jackson Browne to Jimmy Page. But her most significant relationship was with Mick Jagger. So you ready?
Should I put my cigarette out?
Yes,
Probably
we don't
should.
want people knowing you do that.
I'm still a rebel.
Yeah, right.
I'll
rebel
always
with
be
real
a rebel.
dirty lungs.
No, I got the lungs of a swimmer. So my doctor told me.
How did the boys feel about you with your little kid with you all the time, this ringleted little
They wanted to marry us. Damien was so cute. He looked like an angel. Mick said he looked like I found him under a mulberry bush.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was in love with him. And the two of us together were quite the sight.
When did you and Mick finally actually hook up?
Well, It was Jim Gordon. He was the drummer for Derek and the Dominoes, and he was having it was his birthday, and Eric threw him a big party at the country house.
Yeah.
And everybody, rock royalty showed up. George Harrison, Mick Jagger, everybody was there. Everybody was in the living room playing music, and George was just writing My Sweet Lord, so he wanted to play it for Eric to see what he thought, because they like to play music together.
Yeah.
But somebody had spiked the punch with mescaline. I didn't know it. Nobody really knew it, but somebody put a lot of mescaline in the punch. And so there's about 6 or 8 people all jamming My Sweet Lord. And I'm feeling the music is kind of vibrating in my whole being, and I'm feeling just amazing. So I go in the study, which is right next to the living room where they're playing all the music. And then I can hear somebody come in the room, and he just picked me up and he pushed me against the wall and started kissing me. Like you imagine somebody would kiss you in your
Like
best
you imagine
kiss.
Mick Jagger might kiss you.
It was even better than that.
How is that possible?
Because the music, My Sweet Lord, was playing in the next room. And it was filling the entire house alive.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then he slid me down the wall. We were kissing. Then we were making out like crazy. I think we did that for about 20 minutes. It was hot.
Everyone wants to know if Mick Jagger is a great lover.
We were totally into each other. And yeah, he was a great kisser. I remember that for sure. But he was a wonderful guy in every way.
Yeah,
he was
I think
sweet. He was caring. He was so smart. He was educated.
Yeah.
He was interesting. He had great taste in music. He turned me on to so many great artists that I never would have heard of.
You became his girlfriend,
I
right?
became his. He asked me to move in.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, why don't you move in with me?"
That's just incredible, Catherine.
I said, "I love you." I'm like,
oh, God.
Okay.
Did you tell him you loved him back?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
We lived in this gorgeous place.
On Cheney Walk.
On Cheney Walk, and Damien had the nursery upstairs.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was great with my son. He was the perfect boyfriend.
But you had to go to California for some reason,
I didn't
right?
have to go to California, but I thought, well, he's going on this tour, and I'll just go for like 3 weeks.
Mick was going on tour.
Yeah. So when I got to California, for a while he was calling less frequent.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear from him for like a week, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then I see the tabloid picture of Mick Jagger and his new lady love, and I'm like, Bianca. So I called his house.
Yeah.
And she answered.
That's exactly what happened to me.
And I hung the phone up.
That's exactly what happened.
Well, I guess that's the end of that.
Yeah. She said to me, "Don't you ever call here again."
I didn't give her that option.
You just hung up when you heard her voice?
I heard her voice, and I went, it's true. Click. That's done. I didn't want to humiliate myself. Yeah, I figured just leave it like it was. It was great. He kissed me goodbye and walked out the door, and it was perfect.
Catherine is a true rock and roll insider. I mean, living with Mick Jagger. And even though her experiences with all these musicians came and went, I think each one of them represented a very special time in her life that she will no doubt cherish forever.
I would say no regrets. I'm so happy to be given the invitation of life. This is my feeling about it. And it just goes by like that. Yeah. And I can say I've never had a dull moment in my entire life. My life is as exciting today as it was 47 years ago.
I know, it's a real blessing.
I've been a really lucky girl.
Yeah, me too. No regrets?
Isn't it fun to see yourself back then?
I love that we have similar boobies. No wonder the same men love the same two women.
What a glorious time it's been visiting all the legendary groupie dolls. I can't think of a better way to end my travels than with a little celebration. You know what tonight's about, right? It's the celebration of the groupie, of the super groupie, of the muse, of the classic rock goddess. It's about celebrating us. Isn't that fun? So I'll see you soon. Tonight, there's a huge exhibit of groupie photos downtown in a very fancy art gallery. And I think this has got to be the very first exhibit just with groupies themselves, and I'm very proud of that. Lori Maddox is going to be there, and Cynthia Plastercaster flew in from Chicago.
All I want for Christmas is a waist.
Yes, we're going to have fun tonight.
Yeah.
And you're going to be carrying Jimmy around for everybody to see, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the perfect accessory.
Try to figure out whose penises those are.
There is just too much to absorb right now.
I've never seen this picture before. What is Keith looking at here? Oh my God. Look how pretty you look here.
I've never seen any of this before.
I know, it's pretty incredible.
So what's in a lifetime occasion?
Lori, darling. Hello, darling. Oh my God. We're both topless up here. I love it. They look so similar. Yeah, they do. Isn't it fun to see
It's
yourself
so
back
fun.
then?
I love that we have similar boobies. No wonder the same men love the same two women. Exactly right. Hello, everybody.
So wonderful to have you all come to this amazing event. Look at these photos of these beautiful young girls. We were very important girls in our time. We were almost as important as the guys in the band, I'm telling you. And they really felt that way about us. Did they not, girls? Yeah! Hey! And we were part of that scene, that amazing renaissance in rock that will never come again. I got to hang out with Jim Morrison and go on the road with Led Zeppelin and, you know, have sex with Mick Jagger. Many, many times. Thank you. But anyway, the word groupie has been tarnished through the years, and these beautiful women prove that that's so stupid. Because groupie is just a loving goddess who loves the music and the men who make it, and that's it.
And we love you, Pamela.
I like some of the English groups myself. Remember the band Free? Of course, I get the singer.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, hey, now, what is this? Now, baby, maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey,
I'll always be a rebel.
what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now, don't you wait, oh, hesitate. Let's move before they raise the parking rate. Ow! Yeah, we're so happy together. Ow! It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Everything's all right.
Hello, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, show me the way to the next little girl.
Used to say, shoot golden bullets, Lolita.
To the next little girl. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
Just like my horoscope said, this will be a night you will remember.
Girl, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you